Namaste friends. In one of my previous videos, we had already discussed about BTR using the Cuspal method. So this was the option which we had used to see if any time correction is required and if the respective Cuspal sublords were matching. Today we will extend this concept a little more and we will see if the transit was agreeing to a particular event. I have a chart here and we will use the date of marriage to see whether or not the transit agreed for this day for marriage. So that way you have double confirmation in terms of whether the time of birth was accurate or not. So you can pretty much use this concept for any event, but for this particular case study, I will show you with date of marriage, which is 14th May 2021. So the first thing you can consider is make a list of planets which are capable of giving marriage. When we discuss about marriage, we talk about houses 2, 7 and 11. So if you notice here, moon is capable of giving marriage because it is in the second house. Mars is capable, Saturn is capable, and you can also consider Venus because it's giving us 11. Yes, there are houses 5 and 9 which are supportive, but we don't need to get into so many details. Now, we know the planets that are capable of giving marriage. The first thing is you have to look at the dasha, whether the time frame, this particular time frame, the planets which were active in DBA were capable of giving the marriage. So it's Rahu dasha. In that we are talking about Rahu Bhukti again, because please keep in mind these are the end dates. So Rahu was active till 25th June 21 and we are talking about 14th May here. And if we look at Antara, it would be in Mars, right? So you can see here the planets that are active. Basically it's Rahu and Mars. They are capable of giving the marriage. You can do the calculations. I will not get into the calculations part, but we will focus more on the transit part to see whether or not the transit on this particular date was it favorable for the marriage. So let's change this to 21 and this is May. So May 14th was the wedding. So if we take May 14th, we can see this is the transit chart for 14th of May 2021. And now if we look at the planets, Moon, Mercury, Venus and Rahu are in the 11th house. Sun is in the 10th. Saturn is in the 7th house. Now if we go back to the planets list, we said Saturn is capable of giving the marriage because it's in the 7th house. This is the natal chart and this is the transit chart. So Saturn is in the 7th house on May 14th 2021. Okay, the other planets, especially Moon, Venus and Rahu, are in the 11th house. See, there are astrologers who consider transit of Moon to be very important. Some consider Sun transit to be very important. It doesn't matter. It depends on the school of astrology you belong to. Both the planets are equally important. So here, although Sun is in the 10th house, we don't have to worry because Moon is in the 11th house and you can see Moon is actually giving us the results of the second house. So I would still say yes, this is a very good date for the wedding. We have Moon, Venus. Venus is also giving us 11 and we can't ignore Rahu because if you look at Rahu is giving us results of Mars, which is in the second house, and Saturn as well, 7. So the transit pretty much agrees to the date of marriage. So that way we can ascertain that yes, the time of birth is accurate. This is apart from doing the rest of the calculations, meaning the marriage has to be promised, meaning seventh cuspal sublord has to agree for the marriage, the DBA has to agree for the marriage, and finally it is the transit. So you can consider transit as an extension to the BTR which we have already discussed. So here we have confirmation that yes, the time of birth is accurate for this native. So I hope you understood the concept. You can apply the same logic for any event. Take any major event and check the DBA. First check the promise, check the DBA, and finally look at the transit, whether the transit agreed to the event. If that is the case, the time of birth given is accurate. So I hope the video was useful to you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.